What's taking up most of your headspace right now?
Not the best things, just kind of like getting through the winter, waiting for summer.
Going back to school, like in like 3 days or something. I'm kind of worried about because COVID's spreading since New Year's.
Going back to school right now, just trying to figure out if they're going to keep us in the hybrid, because last time they closed it like right after travel, and now we're going back to school right after all like the Christmas travel and stuff. So
I mean, there's not really much to do right now just because everything's closed at the moment.
College. It's all college.
Just trying to figure out what next year's gonna look like with college.
When I'm gonna hear back from colleges. I applied to 14 schools, so.
What next year's gonna look like college-wise.
I'd agree, definitely college is just the complete uncertainty of where I'm gonna live in 8 months is totally taking up all my headspace.
It's all I think about. It's all everyone in our school's thinking about.
What's taking up most of your headspace right now?
Just like wanting to go back to normal, I guess. I mean, I'm just like kind of sick of not doing like my usual stuff, you know? I'm like an event gal. I love going to like sports and stuff, and I just like haven't been doing it, and it's killing me slowly and softly.
Yeah, what would you say was your last normal day?
March 12th or 13th, we went to school and just like never came back.
I felt like the last normal day was that Wednesday, because on that Thursday I can remember everybody walking around school and there's like one kid in a mask and everybody was like, we're not gonna be at school the next day.
Like that felt like the calm before the storm of like politics and just COVID and everything, you know?
It kind of felt like the apocalypse had just happened, and like all my teachers were like, it's not gonna happen, but like we walked out to our cars. I took a nap in my bed and literally woke up and like everything was canceled.
The day that we got the call that school was gonna shut down, I was on my way down to the Post Malone concert right when that happened, and I was like just on the way down with my friends, and I got a call from my mom saying that school was gonna be canceled. So it was just a whirlwind of emotions because we were worried about getting it there, but also trying to live it up on the last night that the world was going to be open, and it was just...
We saw the the season was getting postponed or canceled, and that was really crazy because that's kind of when it hit us for the first time that shit was kind of getting real. So before that was definitely like my last normal day.
I still like went to the gym with no mask, and like I was seeing friends, and the night before too I was like with people. Like we went to Target for a second just to grab something, no masks, and then all of a sudden it was like a switch flip.
Like we were still hanging out, and then the stay-at-home order got placed, and that was the last time I saw my friends for like probably like, I don't know, maybe like 3 months. I don't remember how long it was.
Nothing was ever the same after that, because after that you never saw anyone without a mask, you know. COVID was something everyone knew of. Before that it wasn't as widespread.
I'd say I haven't had like a properly normal day since like maybe the summer, when I was able to like see people in like a socially distanced event, but it felt more normal. But yeah, now that it's cold again, no one wants to be outside.
When did you realize how serious COVID would be?
Oh, not for a while at all. I thought like we were gonna close school for like 2-3 weeks at most, and then we were gonna go back. But I think it was like a month or two in, I was like, oh my gosh, numbers keep skyrocketing, no one's doing anything, and like I guess this is just our new reality.
I mean, I assumed to take it seriously. My parents are doctors, so you know, sickness is a relevant topic in our household, but I think once it came to America, it was like, oh, I remember a week ago when we thought that wasn't going to happen. And then someone died. It's like, I remember a week before that, we didn't think people were going to die. And it just kind of kept on progressing. Every time something new happened, and I was looking back, well, we never thought that would happen. So
I just didn't know what it was, to be honest with you, because everyone was comparing it to the flu. And so I was like, if this is like the flu, like, but then I started to realize that it transmits more easily. It's more serious for a lot of people.
September, that was the first time COVID really affected my life necessarily, because I got quarantined, and for Braden and I, we almost missed our state tournament. And so that was really the first time that, since I haven't had it yet, that it's really affected my personal life. But even back in April, when one of our friends, her dad tested positive and was super serious, that's like the first time it really felt like it affected anybody's life around me.
Once the 2-week quarantine got made more than 2 weeks, I was like, oh my God, this is kind of going to last a while. Like,
Yeah. What did you do during that initial quarantine? So right after school was canceled?
Nothing. Literally nothing. It was not the best use of my time. I slept till like 2, and then I would hang out with TJ and literally just play video games for months.
What did you do during that initial quarantine?
Nothing. It was my birthday, and so, I mean, like, I sat in bed. I was so sad.
Sat in my room, watched TV, cried because I was lonely, but really not much.
I'd say it was really unproductive at first. Most of my days would look like I would get up at like 12. I would make myself like a breakfast lunch, a brunch, and then I would watch Vampire Diaries for about 3 hours, even though I've already seen it 3 times.
Some ACT study, but like, to be honest, really not. And Netflix, and I rewatched all my favorite shows. Gossip Girl.
Watched the entire Gossip Girl series in about a month.
Homework, I would say it was 5%, and 95% of that was playing video games.
So how has the pandemic personally affected you?
I mean, yeah, as privileged as it sounds, it really hasn't personally affected me that much. Pretty minor things in comparison to some people.
Now I feel like if I go outside, like if I'm around like a certain amount of people, I'll start to get like COVID anxiety. I'd literally like call it that.
How long did you think the pandemic would last?
Like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I was like, there's no way that it's gonna like be a whole thing, you know?
I thought it'd last 2 weeks. I thought we were gonna be back, and like I was like, oh, it's just gonna be like a fun 2-week break. And then after the 2-week break, I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be like just like another month, like Easter. That was like my main thing. I was like, it's gonna be gone by Easter. And then I was like convinced still that it was gonna be gone by summer. Like I was kind of in denial the entire time. Like honestly, to this day, I'm in denial.
So initially 2 weeks, and then after those 2 weeks in March, I thought, okay, we'll be good in May. And in May, I thought, okay, we'll be good in August, and everything just kept progressively getting worse. Now I have no idea. Maybe we'll get the vaccine before we go off to school. Maybe not. Maybe we'll all die from this. I have no idea.
When do you think life will get back to normal?
I don't. Which sucks. I think that I think it'll be like mid 2022 to when like things are actually the most normal-esque it's ever been.
I think once we all get the vaccine, that's what I'm hoping for. I know that people have already started to get the vaccine, but I definitely think that it's going to be a long time before like young high school students are going to be able to get it.
So I don't know, probably another year, I'd say at least.
Or maybe like July, August. Hopefully all the like incoming freshmen will have the vaccine by then. All the teachers will, all the healthcare providers.
I want to be hopeful, but it's hard. I'm gonna say like around, hopefully next school year, it can maybe look normaler academically, but normal from where we knew it as, I don't think it ever will.
What do you think is going to change in day-to-day life going forward?
I think a big one is going to be masks. Just, like when you're sick, you just don't go out and you wear a mask.
And I also think there's going to be a mask culture now, and people are still going to wear them no matter what.
There will be like a lot of people who will just refuse to not wear a mask, and who will just like want to keep it on at all times just because it makes them feel comfortable now.
To compare this to what happened at airports after 9/11 with security, I mean, security was forever changed after that day.
I also think people are gonna continue to stay out of other people's like personal space, and it's gonna take a lot of time for us to like connect the way we used to.
This sounds stupid, but like it was like fun for us to like go to McDonald's and like sit inside and like eat a cake from King Soopers. I guess it's really specific, but like things like that, like you don't realize that you're gonna miss it. I don't know, like it's so weird that like we took those things for granted.
Do you know anyone that's gotten COVID?
I actually had it, so.
Really? And
yeah.
how was that for you?
It wasn't too bad, actually. I mean, I'm the ideal person to get it, I guess, but it wasn't too bad. I think the worst part of it was just having to stay in my house, and I was just thinking the whole time, like, if I felt like this last year, I would have gone to school, I would have done everything, I would just powered through, but this year it's obviously different.
I was on a trip with random people, and like everything was getting shut down, so we had to fly back, and I came back and no one really knew what it was, but it was interesting, most of the people I was with tested positive, and then I had a cold, so that's what makes me think I probably had it at that point, like early March.
right in the beginning, my dad got it, and he like quarantined himself for like 2 weeks. He was like super sick, like couldn't even, and like he didn't even smile for like 2 weeks, and because he was so sick. And I'd say like that was when I first realized like, oh, this is real, because before, like, sure, we were in lockdown, but like no one, like not anyone personally I knew had it, so it was kind of just like some distant thing. But when it was like in my house and like seeing it affect the people around me, that's when I really like realized that it was real.
My dad had COVID, like right in the beginning. He was the 4th one admitted to Road Hospital. For some reason, I kind of knew my dad would pull through, just because like that's just how he is. But it definitely could have gone another way.
I don't know who had it, like who spread it, but it was like 16 of us or something. We all got it, and then I was sick for like 5 days, and then we just got a Peloton that week. So I was like trying to do it, and I couldn't breathe, and like I still have trouble breathing sometimes. Like my lungs get so tight, and I just like get like such like a sharp pain in my chest. But I mean, like my lungs are definitely not what they used to be, and I did not think it would affect me like this badly. Wow. And still, like 2 months after.
Do you think the pandemic could have been prevented and the seriousness of it could have been lessened?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
During that 2 months, I was completely with my family, like only. I didn't go out to eat. We like barely went to the grocery store, and I feel like if everyone did that, I'm like, how could it have not been prevented?
With like the stimulus and things, it didn't make it any easier to stay at home for people who wanted to.
The mass hysteria, if that wouldn't have happened, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, like the toilet paper buying.
Oh yeah, everything throughout it.
Yeah.
Every single, like you look through every month, there was a different hysteria, and it was just like everyone making it last longer.
Not like to get political, but obviously there's a lot of better things we could have done, and people could have taken it a lot more seriously. 2 days ago, people were going to New Year's parties, and there's like 300,000 deaths. So obviously we could have done a lot better.
You know how I feel about Trump. I don't love him, but I think that he handled it in a very poor way. I think that we could have had mask mandates, and also if he would have worn one within the first few months instead of like talking it down and being like, this doesn't work, we would have had an entire population of Trump supporters wearing them.
Have you seen the mask like protests at Walmart in like the middle of Idaho? Like, what are you guys just? Yeah. I don't like wearing it either, but I don't know. Put it on.
Look at other places around the world that have next to no cases because of how they dealt with it. It's embarrassing for the U.S. of all places because we didn't have the leadership that we needed at the time.
Because I think this is like the most divided our country has ever been. And the fact that we're divided on like a pandemic, like what?
And I think that like a lot of Americans forget that other countries have internal problems as well, and they work it out and move on. But America makes their internal problems like everyone's problems.
What do you think were the best things to happen during 2020? What was the most important event this year?
Probably the election.
The election.
Besides the election,
George Floyd, like prior to that, living in this community, I was always like sheltered from what was going on. But it really, like everyone was at home, so I guess everyone could really pay attention or something. But like it changed how people were talking to me and treating me, so that was the biggest thing for me.
I mean, all the social justice stuff, I thought that was incredibly important to bring some awareness to. I mean, luckily I haven't experienced any of that, but it's for people like me, I guess it was good for us to like, we need to figure out how to make this better.
Things we've been saying for years are finally taking hold, climate change, Black Lives Matter, all of those things. Things are like, obviously we know and we want to make a change. This was the year that things began to change.
The most important people to me have been my parents and my close friends this year. But I also, we lost a good friend in early February when nothing had happened. His name was Alex Jansen, and so he's been super influential to me just to live life to my fullest and keep continuing his legacy on. So he's been super important. I've definitely thought about him almost every day.
What lessons have you learned this year?
What I've learned with COVID is that people are going to do what they think makes sense to them, and a lot of times it's not going to make sense to anybody else.
Because of all the uncertainty with school and all the ebbs and flows, I think our generation 20, 30 years down the line will prove to be the most adaptable generation by far.
Don't take things for granted, first off. That's the main one.
This year really taught me how to be really grateful for what I have.
So imagine that a vaccine's been distributed, herd immunity is achieved. Today is the very first day where all lockdowns are lifted, mandates don't exist, you never have to think about COVID again. What's the first thing you do?
Oh my God.
God, that's a good
It's literally like another bucket list. I don't know. Just what do I want to do first day out? It's like getting out of jail.
Yeah.
Just go into a restaurant, eat some food without a mask.
Call maybe 10 of my friends and try to actually hang out.
Probably travel, like go see family.
I'm gonna go to IHOP and I'm gonna order pancakes.
Just go out to eat at a normal restaurant, and also probably go to like a concert or something like that.
I could go to like a baseball game or something, or like a Nuggets game. Like that'd be awesome. I would love to, or go to a concert.
Yeah.
Just something like we haven't. Go eat. Go to the mall. I don't know, without a mask, and just like say what up to everyone. Just like stuff that we haven't been able to do. I'd love to get like a Nuggets game the first day. That'd be cool.
Going to a Nuggets game, probably.
Going to a Nuggets game. Just kidding. I'm just joking.
I want to just like hug everybody I know or don't know. I just want to give hugs. I miss giving hugs. It's like my favorite thing in the whole world. I love hugs.
Not put any hand sanitizer on for like ever. The amount of hand sanitizer, like my hands like raw. It's like hand sanitizer is terrible and it all smells terrible now.
It does.
Because what happened? Because before like
Dude,
the hand
what
sanitizer
happened?
smelled good,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's like the worst smelling thing ever.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So I would fix all of the hand sanitizer. I don't know why.
Travel, go to a concert, have a big party, go clubbing. I don't know.
What's the first thing you do?
Illegals. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll go to McDonald's and bring a cake from King Soopers and eat it in McDonald's in a booth with all the people that I am friends with. All of them.
Amazing.
And will you come?
I will come.
Okay.
I hope someone just throws like a huge like movie-esque party.
Yeah.
And we all get to go.
I'd probably throw a party in my house.
This year has been tough for everyone. I made this to show you that though we are all being affected in different ways, we are all nonetheless being affected. If you want to help people that are currently struggling, I encourage you to click the link in the description to donate money to UNICEF. They're helping to save the lives of children across the planet, including millions of American children currently suffering due to the pandemic. My closing message is that one day this will all end. It will get better. And when it does, I am the first to cordially invite you to my Happy New Year, birthday, bar and bat mitzvah, St. Patrick's, Hallow-Easter, Super Bowl Sunday, prom, 4th of July, graduation, Christmas, Festival of Lights, Turkey Day, Mardi Gras, Ramadan Day, Mayo, COVID is over, Seder, Rager, Celebration Extravaganza, where we're going to celebrate all the holidays that we've missed out on during COVID. It's going to be amazing, and I hope to see you there. Good times are ahead.
Yeah, it was really shitty. Yeah. Everyone just hated each other all year. Which is a little better, which is better now. Because, we have a new president. You can't really hate each other for 4 more years.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll try.
Yeah.